Tonight, we're going to be talking with the Midnight Rambler about Ringo Starr and his current tour. What was the first show that you ever went to featuring Ringo?
Hey, thanks for having me on, Bill. That was a great show in '93, and Ringo's All Stars went on sale. Jumped on the tickets really quick, and I bought the tickets really without sure who was in the band. I just knew that the word was out that he would put on a great show, and I was stunned that my favorite bass player, Jack Bruce, was on bass, Peter Frampton on guitar, Simon Kirke from Bad Company on drums, and Todd Rundgren on second guitar, and a few other people that I can't remember right now, but a fantastic concert on a beautiful night in downtown Atlanta. And the highlight of the night is when Shooting Star, the drummer, announced that, yeah, you know Paul Rodgers' song, all those Bad Company hits, or that's his vocal. But he goes, but I had my one song that I sang and I wrote it, and that's Shooting Star. When he sang that, 8,000 people sang loud, and it gave you chills down your back that 8,000 people were singing that song like they owned it. I never heard a crowd sing with a band in my 50 years of seeing a concert. And of course, I liked it when they did White Room and Jack Bruce shows off his great bass playing. And then when Frampton did his big hits, that was my treat, the loud rock and roll jam. But boy, Shooting Star, that was magic. Downtown Atlanta. Great Ringo tour.
Well, John, I hear that you saw Ringo in Greenville at the Peace Center. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, it was a weird night because it had been icy and cold in February, and they really put a damper on trying to park your car and get to the concert. But downtown Greenville for a simple Peace Center concert was pretty easy to get to and get in properly and get your beer or a glass of wine. And Ringo's show was incredible. Just the sound, the lights. I mean, Ringo does 3 or 4 songs of his solo or the Beatles, and then he just goes on the drums and lets everybody else shine. Steve Lukather from Toto was amazing, and he recreated his 3 hits from his band, and then the bass player was the bass player from Mr. Mister, and he did his big songs, and then Todd Rundgren was second guitar. He did his several songs and plays great rhythm guitar to back all these different songs up. I mean, when it's time to do the Beatles, he was doing some George Harrison. And then, so for every song, basically you had 2 drummers, which has that great fat sound of 2 drummers, and they're doing off each other. They're not doing the same beats at the same time. They're counter-off playing each other like the Grateful Dead or Allman Brothers used to do. But Ringo Starr show was just over the top, one hit after another. And then, of course, at the very end, for encore, we get by with a little help from my friends, and the whole audience sang that, and everybody left happy and had a good trip down memory lane to Beat Land in the hippie days of 1969, 68. So everybody had a great time.
I heard Ringo's going to be playing in Atlanta. I think it's around September the 27th at the Fox Theater. I'm sure you'd recommend that show to anybody who's listening, correct?
Oh, yes. Believe me, he's smart to take the summer off. He's 82, 83, and he's played these amphitheaters in the summer, and the sound check at 5 o'clock in the blistering heat makes you really not get so fired up to get out there and perform for people when you physically are sweating, humid, hot summer afternoon at 5 o'clock in the blistering sun. So he's smart. He's going to take a couple months off and finish the tour, and the Fox is an amazing concert hall. I saw Joe Satriani there a couple years ago, and I saw a fan of the opera. Mind-blowing, small, high-quality theater built 70 years ago. Perfect acoustics, beautiful lighting. I highly recommend seeing the show at the Fox Theater.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure talking about the great Ringo Starr.